G'day everyone, Z21 here, you can call me Z. The F1 summer break is over and we're in the Netherlands on our way to Zandvoort Circuit for the Dutch GP. It's been a long few weeks, but it's exciting to see the race this weekend, and we're going to check out the track and a bit of the scenery around this beautiful area of Europe. We are in the Zivko Edge 540 V3, the Red Bull livery plane again. This is the final race for the foreseeable future at Zandvoort Circuit. I hope I pronounce it correctly. But it will be interesting to see if Red Bull can have another victory in this track, very well known for the support for Max Verstappen. So I'm just trying to find my way to the runway. Great to see a lot of planes around. The graphics continue to be updated in this Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 PlayStation 5 edition of the game. Little by little the updates are coming through. Again, I am an amateur learning how to fly and play this game, but having so much fun. Really great to enjoy learning about the geography around the world and following the F1 calendar. Of course, I'm not following all of the flight rules, I'm just enjoying vibe flying. I'll continue to learn how to fly properly, but for now I just want to enjoy the feeling. Using the PlayStation 5 controller. I'm playing on the PlayStation 5 Pro. Getting a feeling of using the analog sticks. Really cool looking airport. One of the things I noticed as I took off here was the number of runways. They're quite spread out at this airport. But again, the fidelity continues to impress me, and really enjoy flying up into the clouds here. I did notice on this occasion that there's quite a bit of slowdown at certain points. This game is streaming all the data as we fly. You can see the ocean in the distance, and the circuit is not far from Amsterdam. It means a quick flight to the track, and we'll do a flyover and enjoy the circuit, which is right next to the beach. So the circuit returned to the F1 calendar in 2021, but after 5 years, the partnership with Formula One is ending. So it's unsure whether the race will return in the future, or this truly is the checkered flag for this quite interesting circuit located around the sand dunes the ocean and beach there here near Amsterdam. On the weekend, it's going to be a sea of orange for the Dutch fans supporting Max Verstappen. And here's the circuit as we do our first somewhat higher altitude flyover. Quite a short circuit, 4.2 kilometers long. It's been around for a long time, dating back as a street circuit in 1939. But the permanent track wasn't built until somewhat after that. Some interesting corners, including a banking corner right at the end here, going onto the main straight. So we'll do a bit of a lower altitude flyover now as we come back around. What a great scene. Such a fun feeling flying this plane. You can feel the turbulence as you use the controller. And here we go down the main straight. Basically, this is the only place where spectators can watch. There are a few other corners potentially as well, but the main number down the main straight here. Into the first corner. The Paddock Club on the right, I heard, is a great vantage point to watch the cars as they fly around. And here we go, back to turn 1 here, then down a little bit of a smallish straight into turns 2 and 3. Another sharp banked corner right there. And then following on, another little stretch here. Turns 4, 5, 6. And then a larger corner here, 7. Then another little stretch into turn 8. Nine and 10. And then somewhat of a back straight, you could say, into a sharper turns 11 and 12. And then 13 here. Before the long banking corner onto the straight, turn 14. Ah, fun, fast circuit. Great entertainment, but I'm unsure there are many overtaking places on this track. Alright, we'll do one last flyover as we turn left over the water and back across the circuit. What an amazing location here. Farewell, Zandvoort. How do I say that properly? Zandvoort, I'm guessing. And now we're heading back to the airport via Amsterdam. We'll fast forward a little bit here and enjoy the scenery. At 800 times the speed. Some wind farms around. A big river heading towards the city. And some canals, I guess, through the landscape of the city. It must be a beautiful place to visit and to live. You can see the slow down and pop in. Interesting looking city here. Not that many high-rise buildings, but enclosed apartment blocks with a lot of greenery, trees around the streets. Oh, you can see the turbulence. It's like the main street of the city centre is a road, but also the train tracks. Really cool. So just flew around there looking for the airport, and now lining it back up to the same runway that we took off from. Still really wanting to understand how to best control the plane. Probably better to do it from inside the cockpit. But I think the view here is much nicer. You can see a lot more of the surroundings and the plane itself as well. The PlayStation 5 doesn't seem to have a replay function in this game in comparison to on the PC or Xbox. Hopefully they add that feature so I can probably then fly appropriately inside the cockpit and then take the footage of the recording. You can see the wind pushing the plane to the right, so I had to keep the nose pointing slightly to the left. That was quite a fun feeling. Also understanding how to control the speed as we approach the runway. I think this was a much smoother flight than I've had in recent videos. Less major errors, which I had to cut out in those videos. A quick flight to the circuit and back. It really does give you a sensation that you're flying a plane. Alright, let's try our best not to kangaroo hop down the runway here. Probably going a little bit too slow, I guess. maybe too low as well right here. And messed up the camera angle. Just made it alright. Slowed down very quickly actually. That was a fun trip in Amsterdam. And we'll make our way back to our starting spot. Thank you again for joining today. It was really a fun flight and a quick view around this scenery in Amsterdam and the Zandvoort circuit. That's so cool to see. Nice one. So we're back into the second half of the season and lots of races still to enjoy on the F1 calendar. Some updates, I believe, for a lot of the manufacturers. Max Verstappen has signed a new contract. Hadjar is out with a bit of an injury and Lawson is taking his place in the Red Bull team. I'm sure we'll have an action-packed weekend ahead. Thanks again for hanging out. Let me know if you have any questions or wanting to chat about anything F1 related or this game, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. I look forward to seeing you in the next video and hope you all have a great weekend ahead, and we'll see you next time.